Hi everyone, my name is Lennart.
My name is Lorenz.
And we are hosting today together our new session, and we will talk about data governance in Agile teams, because what I experience in some projects is that governance is like a roadblock. So it's like we are Agile, we're delivering fast, and then there's governance, and it feels like we're in a Formula One car, and we have to stop every 100 meters for a pit stop just because there's governance and we need to redo something, or we just have to discuss something for weeks sometimes because GDPR and governance is so important, and it really kills the process and the rhythm and the flow of the whole team, and also the motivation, because when you can't deliver, the stakeholders get mad, and when the stakeholder get mad, we get mad. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, totally agree. I think a lot of time there's also some conflict between the data teams and then the governance teams. And I think it's a huge problem in projects nowadays, especially since the last few years where it really got a bigger and bigger topic, data governance. But I also think it's highly important, right? We have so many regulations nowadays, and just in general to put trust to your data. I really think it's a core part. I think the question is a little bit, should the work look like in a data project, and also with the data governance team? Because if you don't implement something, you will lose the trust in your data really quick, and you will get problems with audits for sure.
Yeah, what we also experience is when we really ignore the issue about all this governance stuff, that our data lakes, for example, especially our data lakes, but also our data warehouse gets to, or will become data swamps, and we really have issue with this, because when we don't talk to the governance teams, the data just get put into the data lake. Do you experience the same?
I think in the end, it's a little bit of a thing. People sometimes try to make the argument between developing slow but doing it right with data governance, or being fast and agile but having no data governance.
Yes. So it's only those two options. In most teams, there's no in between, because it's always like two fronts. It's the Agile data team who really wants to bring the project forward, and the governance team.
Yeah.
They don't want to stop it, but they want their requirements to go into the project. And those are two fronts. And I think that we really have to start rethinking how we work together, as I already mentioned.
100%. And I think there are a lot of different factors to this. I think the first part that I mentioned so often in these sessions before, if you guys are listening, but also in general, I feel like these data governance projects, they always get started in a really huge manner. They buy a tool and then everything should go in there and everything should be documented. Why not start small? Do one use case correct, maybe not with the biggest tool directly. Look, what do you need to track? Maybe you don't need to track everything, right? And I think this is one really big problem.
You really get really fast getting lost in overthinking stuff, because when you start thinking about the governance, then there's another topic. There's another topic, and then you will never start developing. You will never have something you can work with, because there's so many regulatories. At some point, you have to do the cut and implement it maybe a step later, because it's maybe not that important at the moment. But the people, especially the stakeholders, needs to see results, because when you only say, okay, we're discussing it's something about governance, they don't see results, and in the end, you don't have any more money because they're not satisfied.
And I think this goes for essentially every topic, right? We do it with Data Vault a lot, tracer bullet approach. Yeah. We start with one use case and then build up the rest time after time. The same goes, in my opinion, for data governance. And you really need to have some examples as well, right? How should it look like? Sometimes you get in projects and say, we need to load the whole source data into this data governance tool and the whole data warehouse. That doesn't work. Nobody will tag anything. It will take forever. Start small. And the best case, if you can, start in the beginning, right? If you start a new project, do it directly. Yes. I think this is a huge thing you see now as well. A lot of projects, they start now.
And then they're refactoring over again. And then it's like you did nothing before because everything is refactored. And I think this is like one topic you mentioned. We have to start early with implementing the governance, but we also have to start talking to each other.
Yeah.
Way before. So it's not like we started developing and then the governance team have a look on the data and on the results and see, but this is not compliance conform or something.
Yeah.
We really have to talk way before this. Those teams have to work with each other.
And I think the same goes for this feeling of fighting against each other.
Yes.
The regulators, they give us so many requirements. They want this, they want that. It should be a teamwork, right? Especially with governance and the data teams. They need to work together. It can't work alone. And I think this is also sometimes a problem. The governance teams, they start doing their own thing, and they should now build this huge data catalog, and they want to build something, but they don't look what is even there. How does the data look like? What is the reality?
Yeah.
And then you get a real big difference. And another thing for sure, I think data wall also helps you with getting quicker, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. You already mentioned GDPR, I think.
Yeah.
It's scale-free. Everyone who saw our videos on YouTube already or other sessions from us, we always preach the satellite split approach.
Yeah.
So, for example, which is one of the, I think, the easiest way to implement GDPR things to at an easy level. There's always things you maybe have to implement later, but to start with, it's easy to separate the data in satellites, for example. And check those videos out on YouTube. And I think this is, as you said, that data wall brings a lot of solutions out of the box with it. And also, I think you can use the architecture of data wall, having the raw vault and the business vault, for example, how you provide the data also.
I think this is a huge benefit in general, right? You have the really strict split between raw vault and business vault, where the business logic comes in, and you have fully traceability. So you can always rebuild every dashboard, see what happens, and be really compliant for audits as well, right? And one more topic there is also the automation tools. A lot of them nowadays bring really good features with them. Data lineage, you can make descriptions, tests, all this stuff. So when you talk about governance, you should always have a look what is there already. Sometimes companies buy these huge tools and think they need everything, but maybe there's something already there that you can already use and build on without making this huge project out of it, which never will finish, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When we look back at what we talked about now, and when I want to pick, or I would like to pick up the Formula One example again. So what you say, or what we think, is that you have your Formula, you need to have your Formula One car first. So you need to have your data first somewhere. But those governance topics don't have to be the pit stop. It can also be, you need to have the security of the implemented as well at the beginning, because otherwise your car will break down maybe at some point.
And it's the teamwork, right?
It's a teamwork. And then, because you need the engineers, but you also need the people who are looking for the safety of the car.
In the end, you want to make the car faster, and you need governance for that. You need trust in your data. And nobody can work alone. This is just how it is in data topics. And yeah, we have some really cool videos already about data governance. We made some videos about data cataloging, metadata data management in parts. Maybe we will have something coming up for you soon as well. And check them out.
If you want us to dive deeper into one of those topics, leave a comment in the section below. And if you're interested in how do you pick people up from where they are and how do you get them involved in your project, just follow the link below, and see you in the next sessions.
See you in the next session. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.